Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 2 different ways of working with tarot, oracle, and Dixit cards for another quick exploratory self-exploration type of process, not intended to take a super long time. But the first one is going to start by laying down 3 tarot cards. However you want to. I always, of course, mix up my cards, shuffle them, and just pull 3 cards, 3 tarot cards. And when I'm working, with imagery, whether it's like tarot or oracle, I don't really interpret them based on their traditional meanings. As you can see, this is a deck of animals, so it doesn't even really have the traditional meanings. This particular deck, it does have some, like a little, I guess, affirmation on it. For me, that's just all part of what I'm pulling from. That's all the information that's serving kind of as a prompt for my process. But for this one, once you have your 3 cards, thinking of them as representing, each one representing either a distinct voice or a perspective or some kind of an inner feeling that you have, like in the moment. So like taking a look at the imagery and asking kind of, some inquiry around what you notice. So which one feels like the most familiar? Which one feels the most challenging or uncomfortable? Which one feels the most supportive? And you can use that kind of discovery process to discover or uncover what those voices, what those perspectives might be. And you can give them like a short title. Like it doesn't have to be like the inner critic, my inner parent. It could be, this is like the part of me that wants to change. This is the part of me that really wants like safety and connection. This is the part of me that's just kind of like observing things, right? And I actually didn't even read what these little affirmations are. I'm just kind of going off what the imagery kind of evokes, right? And even kind of tuning into the differences in terms of emotion, or not emotion, but movement. These are kind of in a much more, they are obviously moving, but it's a different type of quality to the movement than this horse or than the seagull here. And then the next part is to draw 2 oracle cards. So again, just you can shuffle those. And the first one that you draw, that I'll draw here, I'm going to place next to the tarot card that feels the most important to me based on what I, previously did for my exploration. This is the rainbow. So I might just put it there. You can put it next to it in some way. And then the next oracle card that you pull, place it next to the tarot card that feels the most unclear or confusing. And then kind of exploring this in a little bit more, just exploring it in a little bit deeper of a way. Thinking about, what might, for each one, what might this voice be trying to say? What feeling or insight does the oracle card kind of bring up or add to my understanding of that part of myself, that voice, that perspective, whatever it might be, right? So the oracle card is really kind of serving to add to some language to the imagery. So this is just a really fairly quick kind of playful process, right? So you're just kind of pulling 3 different tarot cards. Each one is representing a distinct inner voice or an inner role or part of yourself, a perspective, a different type of feeling. And then the different the different oracle cards, you pull one and place it next to the one that feels like it is the most important. and then you place the next oracle card next to the one that feels maybe the most like unclear or confusing, thinking about, you know, based off the imagery in the oracle card and like the keyword on it, how it might answer the question, you know, what is this voice trying to say? What feeling or insight does this kind of add to your understanding or relationship, or the meaning that you infuse into the tarot card that you pulled? So this is one of practice. This one actually did not use any Dixit cards, but the next one does. In fact, it starts off with Dixit cards. So this one starts with a Dixit card. So Dixit is just the image, no actual word or like guidebook type of meaning to it. Some of these, I guess, are, whoops, these are not even upside down. So, okay, so you shuffle however you want to shuffle, pull a Dixit card, and start to explore and work with the imagery. So asking yourself, you know, what is happening in this picture? And you can start off like literally, what is this a picture of? Particularly if it's something more abstract, like this particular image. You can start off with just describing what's literally present. If you want to kind of play around briefly with like hopping into metaphor or association, you can. But asking, you know, inquiry around, you know, what is the feeling or atmosphere that is evoked in this image, right? Like in this particular one, there's a lot of like stillness. What part of the image like pulls your attention? Just kind of like describing your just general impressions of the image in your own words. There's no interpretation yet. Next is pulling 3 tarot cards randomly, as again, and kind of placing them around the image in some way. It's all our pentacle suit. And then kind of thinking about the tarot cards as they relate to the image. So asking yourself which tarot card, the imagery in it. Again, I'm not even really, like, again, these ones have those little affirmations or quotes at the bottom. I'm not even like really reading that. I'm just kind of going off really anything in the image. So which one feels the most connected to the scene? Which one adds some kind of tension or complexity to the scene? Which one adds possibility? So if you're gonna almost like creating like a recipe of some kind, if you're gonna add one tarot card, any aspect of it, right? The energy or what it brings up for you, right? So like, I mean, just looking at this one, there's like maybe a sense of playfulness, maybe a little bit of chaos with like the yarn mixed up. So, you know, which one, you know, whatever to you, right? Maybe that's the one that for you feels the most connected, or adds tension, complexity, and then which one adds possibility, right? And so what the purpose of that is that each tarot card is adding a different way of kind of understanding or like thinking about the imagery. And then finally pulling an oracle card and using, of course, the aspects of the imagery as well as the keyword or phrase on it. The heart. And based on everything that you just explored, asking yourself, how does this word or how does this image describe what I'm seeing here, right? How does this piece fit in? Where does it fit in, right? So just kind of this fun, I think it's fun, creative way to play around with imagery, add in tarot cards to kind of explore the image from some different perspectives, and then kind of tying it all together with that oracle card, right? So, whoops, no, this one. So yeah, so this one, you know, it starts with a Dixit card. Ooh, it's like a kind of a jumper, huh? So it starts with a Dixit card. Then you have 3 tarot cards. And then finally your oracle card to summarize everything. Okay. So just kind of playing around with what can sometimes be a lot of different ways to work with this image, right? There's a lot going on. Why is this person here? What is this actually about? Presenting 3 different ways of relating to or thinking about that imagery. You know, what feels the most connected, what adds a certain degree of tension, what adds some type of possibility. And then finally, the Oracle card, which is kind of, again, tying it together. How does this kind of fit in to what I'm seeing here? It's kind of interesting as I just pull this card that these 2 figures are kind of both in like an offering kind of position. So it's just a lot of different ways to pull in to kind of facilitate kind of a deeper way of exploring one particular ambiguous image. So I hope you like this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more creative ways of working with tarot cards, Dixit cards, oracle cards, dice, charms, games, all that fun stuff. And I will see you next time.